Hey guys, it's Doc here with my newest video. We're going to talk about what's coming out at the movie theaters this weekend, and I've got some streaming picks for you as well. So let's go ahead and get started. The first movie is The Monkey, which is based on a Stephen King story. It says, when twin brothers Bill and Hal find their father's old monkey toy in the attic, a series of gruesome deaths start. The siblings decide to throw the toy away and move on with their lives, growing apart over the years. This has got Oz Perkins, who's also the director. That's Anthony Perkins' son, who starred in Psycho 2 and was the director of Star Trek in 2009. Also has Theo James, Elijah Wood, and Tatiana Maslany. Looked at the trailer, and that looks pretty good. Again, we don't get a whole lot of horror movies outside of the later part of the year. So with Stephen King, building the story and kind of giving his blessing, since it's got his name all over it, I think we might be in for a treat. All right, the second movie is Last Breath, starring Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, and Cliff Curtis. And this is a true story that follows seasoned deep-sea divers as they battle the raging elements to rescue their crewmate, who is trapped hundreds of feet below the ocean's surface. This is directed by Alex Parkinson, who was in Black Adam and directed A Jazzman's Blues. So this is more of a taut, gripping thriller where you've got a guy who only has a certain amount of time to get out of the ocean before he runs out of oxygen. It looks like he had been trapped down there and his oxygen cable got snapped. And so they've got to pull a rescue maneuver in order to get him back up to the surface before he drowns. So that looked pretty good. That looked like Woody Harrelson can still carry a movie, still has a lot of acting chops left in him. So maybe go check that out this weekend. And the last big movie that we've got coming this week, new, is Cleaner, with Daisy Ridley, Taz Skylar, and Clive Owen. And this is criminal activists hijack a gala, taking 300 hostages. One extremist plans mass murder as a message to the world, and an ex-soldier turned window washer now works to rescue the hostages. This looks kind of like your summer popcorn action flick. It's directed by Martin Campbell, who directed Casino Royale and The Legend of Zorro back in the day. So you've got a high-name director. You've got some really great stars. Clive Owen is good as a good guy or a bad guy, and he looks like he's kind of chewing it up, almost like, Rick was back in the day as Hans Gruber. So that looks like that could be really, really fun if you missed Flight Risk or a couple of the other action movies that came out last weekend. Now, I've also got a couple of movies that are coming to streaming, and it's the 2024 remake of The Crow with Bill Skarsgård. That hits Stars this weekend. Never got a chance to see that in the movie theaters, but it looked like it was pretty action-packed. They kind of bombed it as far as the reviews go. They said it didn't really stick the landing. But, hey, it might be worth checking out if you've got Stars and you don't have to go and pay for it. Secondly, we've got Sonic the Hedgehog 3, starring Jim Carrey and the voices of Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba. That hits Paramount+. Jim Carrey is always fun as Dr. Robotnik, and I think it doesn't disappoint here. And then when you've got voice talents like Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba playing Tails and Shadow, then I don't think you can go wrong with that. And last but not... we got two more. First, next up is American Murder, Gabby Petito, that hit Netflix. My wife and I actually watched that the other night, and we thought it was okay. She didn't know much about the story about Gabby Petito and her fiancé, Brian Landry, but it held our interest, and it's only 3 episodes, so you're only invested for, I guess, about 3 hours of your time. If you never followed this story in the news, it was kind of a gripping story for just a minute, so be sure to check that out on Netflix. And the last movie is Nosferatu, which is up for digital purchase on Amazon Prime. That also has Bill Skarsgård and Nicholas Hoult, and that was last winter, right around Christmas time. That was one of the big movies at that point. So anyway, guys, are you looking forward to watching any of these in the theater this weekend or watching any of the streaming picks that I've made? I've kind of noticed that the numbers are down on this particular video, so I'm going to give it a few more weeks, and if I can't get the numbers up on it, I might either change the format or I might just move on from this particular video. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Are you interested in watching these? Do they ever really give you any information that you don't already know from the internet and from the trailers that you watch? So let me know, and we'll see what the future of this particular video series is here on the channel. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend, and hope you get to go check out something at the movie theater.